I'm going to have another go at getting these Allen plugs out. I've tried with a little chisel just to try and knock back that staking, but it's not moving. So I'm going to try this, which is, where is it? There. It's a ball drill on the end of a jeweler's pendant motor with a foot controller. See if we can just relieve it with that. I've not tried it yet, but that seems to have done quite a nice job of relieving that. Let's see if it'll turn now. Well, that's the first one loose. I mean, forget using something like that and a tube on it. I made this for something else, probably another flywheel job. Bolt that on there and a massive long bar on this, and that was still tight, but that's moving now. I'm glad I made the effort to get this out. Here's the plug I've taken out, and I've scraped out this stuff. Which at first I thought it was a sealant, because it was just the base of the hole was completely blocked with this stuff, but poking around inside there's this mess, which I guess that's worn out bearings mixed with oil or something. So I'll be able to give that a good flush out, because there's still more in the hole, which I'll have to wash out. This is number 4 I'm having a go at. And even with all that cut out, it just won't budge. Still on the crank, and I've got myself into a bit of a mess here. So I've broken the Allen key off in the grub screw. So I'm going to try and drill it out with. This is a carbide tip drill, because this is a bit of hard stuff in there. So we'll see what dent this makes in it. Well, that's out now. That's the old Allen key, and I drilled it with that carbide drill and then ground the rest out with those diamond burrs. So out of trouble now with that. So that one will get drilled, and another one here I'm struggling with, that'll get drilled. So I've got 4 of these out. So what size tap is it? I've actually got a tap that'll fit, but there's nothing written on it. So what size are these scrub screws? That's an M12, the one on the left, which is obviously a different thread to the one on the right. So this is an imperial tap, and this is a starter tap. So I'm going to have to go in with that, and then I think what I'll do is I'll modify this, cut the end off it, and then finish both holes off with the short section, because you've only got about 10 mil of depth, which should take us to about there. So that's not going to put any thread on it at that. So I'll cannibalise this tap, because I'm sure I'll never need it again. Just trying to measure my crank plugs here. These are the old ones, and the inner end we've got 12.4, 12.6, 12.5, 12.7, and if I move down, we've got 13, 13.19, 13.13, just try another one, 12.3, 12.6, 12.1, and then if I move down, just trying to avoid that staking there, 13.2. Looks like they do have a taper. If we just have a look down just have a look down one of the holes here. That goes all the way in. There's no end to that thread. It just goes all the way through. If I just measure that, well, that's 30 mil there, and those plugs are about 12 mil. So I still think we've got a taper on there. Well, I'm at the stage of drilling these out now. This is one of the old plugs I've already removed. I just ran a drill through that just to see what it was like, and it's fairly soft material. It drills quite easily. And just found a drill that was a snug in that hexagon, which is I think it was about 6 mil, something like that. And that keeps it pretty central. So that was good. I now started drilling this one, and I've started with the 6 and then moved up and up and up, and I'm at 10 mil now. And I'm just going to give it one last go with one of these. I hate these things, but I'm just going to give it another chance just to pull it out. But of course, if you break that, then you're in big trouble. So I'll see what it does. Right, they didn't work. So down to tapping, drilling and tapping. So after much toing and froing, quarter BSP-T plug, so that's a tapered plug, and the tap is a BSP-T, which is a tapered plug, so quarter BSP-T. I tried a straight. The straight won't screw into the crank. It'll go in a little bit, but not much. This is a parallel threaded hole, and the plug just bites just as it goes flush. It just bites, so you just might get away with that. And this is a parallel, and I've measured these two taps. So this is the parallel, this is the tapered, and the parallel measures fractionally less. That's about 0.3 of a millimetre smaller here than that one is here. So when you're running this through, I would keep checking, just run it sort of like halfway through, then a bit more, then a bit more, and keep trying the plug, because I kept trying it and kept trying it, and the plug was still proud. So I went right to the end of the tap, and now the plug will go right through the hole without stopping and come out the other end. So you only need to use a proportion of that plug, that tap, and I think it should be an 11.2 millimetre drill for that one. I've used an 11 millimetre and that works. As long as you can get that in, it just keeps recutting, cutting, just keeps cutting as you go through. So this is my first hole I'm going to try. That's drilled out to about 10 mil, so we just clean that out a little bit more and try to tap through it.